Welcome back for another adventure, guys. Today I will be going over resources in more detail on how they work on each map, as well as I will be going over the daily system. So let's get started. Oh dear, I guess we should get started right now. Alright, so let's get started with resources. So if you zoom out on the map, this has to be done not in the airplane but outside. You can see that each one of these maps has a resource level on them, and these resource levels is how you get your certain amount of resources that you can get from each map. So the set amount is for resource level, not map level. So like before, we got a certain amount of resources from each map. Now we only get a certain amount of resources from each map level. So if there is 4 maps with the same map level, those 4 maps share the map level resources. So when you look at this part, it says 160 out of 180 and 278 out of 360. This subtracts, it does not add. So if it says you have something out of 180, that means that's how much you have left. Once it hits 0, you have no more resources that you can get from that map level. So depending on what map levels you can go to, depends on how much resources you can get. So there are 8 map levels. Each map level has their own set of resources that you can get, and that is how you get them. So 8 map levels, that means add the amount of resources you can get times 8, and that is how many resources you can get in an entire day. Now, this being said, each map level you can actually increase how much resources you can get. So once you have reached your max and both the blue and green are empty, you can go here and use gold in order to get more, be able to send back more resources. So it does cost gold. The blue costs 10 and the green costs 5, and you can only get 40 attempts on the blue and 60 attempts on the green, and this is per map level. You can do this for every map level. So if you get extra resources on that map, you have the option of buying more space to be able to send it. I think the reason why that they did it this way is because there is no more sending resources back. We are not required to send them back anymore. So because of this, they have done it where we cannot really mine more than this. There is a box that you can get up. I think it's like 20 extra resources, which I'll explain towards the end of this resource part. But that is pretty much how that part works. It's by map level, not by map. So that is something to keep in mind when you are gathering resources. Next, I'm going to talk about the gathering team, which you can find on the map marked with an axe. So when you get over here, there's 2 guys. First is the logistics teammate. So here it actually allows you to trade food for gathering vouchers. This is one of the 2 ways to get gathering vouchers. So you could probably make like a crap load of jam and bring it here, trade it for vouchers. You can only get 2,400 vouchers this way. And then this part is you have the max resources, and so you can either choose to use all of it or just some of it. So it's pretty much the same concept as when we were using our stronghold points. The biggest difference is instead of it going into our backpack, it is mailed directly to our mailbox, which honestly is so much better because you can just send it all as once if you want to just go gather and send all this stuff back. And you still get gathering vouchers by doing strongholds. So that part didn't really change. It's just that now, instead of getting it from the guy next to the call board, we're getting it from the gathering team, and it's being mailed directly to our mailbox, which for filling up the vault, this is going to become really handy because you just send a whole bunch of crap back if you want to, and you don't have to worry about it filling up your backpack because all you have to do is go back to camp, take it out of your mailbox, and then start filling up the vault. So I went from a level 1 map to a level 3 map so I can get more materials from this, even though it was like the next map over. So when you're in here, it shows 0 of 180 and 0 of 360. This is because it's telling you how much you can get while you're in here. This is different. It's kind of different than when you look at it on the one next to the map. Because then when you go here, it says 0, but this 0 means that you no longer have any resources to gather. You've gathered all of them. So just keep that in mind because it can be a little confusing, but you learn that when this says 0, it means you have none, and when you go in to here and it says 0, it means you have some, because once you use it all, it says used up. It doesn't give you a number anymore. So here I'm going to show you how the extra storage works. So I'm going to empty my resources out where I can't gather anymore. And then once I do that, I am going to go gather. So you're seeing that every time I gather, this little box thing pops up. It says +1 with a box. So your stuff is being stored into a box, and you have 20 extra storage, and it'll be kept there until the next day. You can come back and collect it. So each map has this extra storage. So it says temp resource storage. So it's kind of like when we kept all of our extra stuff at the guy at the airplane. So here you also gives you the option to buy extra spots for the resources, and then you can see right here what you have at each map level. Each of them has 20 extra slots, and then it will store it there till the next day, and you can come back and get your extra storage, which will count towards your quota for the day. So it does give you an option for this so that you can get more stuff. One last thing with resources, you can see here that the gathering team, as soon as they're done gathering your stuff, they send it to your mailbox. Alright, so how are our dailies now that we no longer have board dailies? So it's really not that much different, other than we don't have auto accepts now. So if you look at this map, you'll see the axe for the gathering team, the same thing for the strongholds, and it has a key that tells you what everything is. So there's this one on here that is like a paper. It's like bright yellow. It looks like a paper, and it has like a little tiny person icon. This is where our dailies are now located. So you can't always see them from the zoomed out map, because some of them you have to actually go to that area to see the daily. So there are 3 different types of dailies, but only 2 icons. So they all look like this yellow paper with the little person. So what the difference is there's one that glows. This one that glows is the one you want to do first. And the reason why you want to do this first is because it is the daily that you get the most gold from. So most of the higher maps you get 800 gold, the lower maps you get 700 gold, but this one that glows you get 2400 gold. So that is the one that you want to do because we do have a limit on how many dailies we can do, but it doesn't really limit on us which ones we can do, so it's our choice of which ones we do. So if you do all of the 800 ones and never do this one that glows, then you can't go back and do it. So this is a fall forest daily. As you can see, 700 gold, and then at the bottom you can see that you can only do 15 assistant quests a day. That counts. That's not 15 of the paper, that is 15 quests. That means if you accept all 3 quests, well then you just did 3 of your quota for the day out of the 15. Okay, so my suggestion would be to be doing all of the ones that are of the highest maps you can do first, but only after the one that can glow. So you may be wondering, what do I mean by the one that glows? So this one, when you zoom out, it will always show up on the map. So when you look down here, it's called timed assistance. That is the one that you want to do first, every day. Whatever quests you choose to do, that should always be the first one you choose to do, because like I said, it gives you the most gold. So once you get over here to the daily that is glowing on your map, you'll find that they're really not all that different from the rest of the dailies. They're about the same. The only difference is that you get more gold, and I believe you also get more experience. So this should be right here, should tell you that this really should be the one that you're doing first every day. So the last thing I'm going to show you is this over here is a regular high level map daily, and as you can see, it has 800 gold. And see, right away you can already tell that this has less experience than the one that shines, but it also has more than the lower maps. So definitely be doing your higher maps before your lower maps. Also, one last thing that I'm going to cover in this video, I happened on by accident, is we used to have the Commerce Viewers quests where you trade these resources that we find on the map, and it gives us combat and all that and gathering experience. Apparently now we can just find one person and trade in all of the resources that we find. It's no more having to find one person for this one resource. We can just trade it all in and get the experience and other things along with the experience. Alright guys, I hope that this video you found helpful. I will be posting more stuff as I learn it on the maps. The next thing I want to try to learn is how the Mystic Creature system works. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.
Okay, bye bye.